Good day, everybody, and welcome to today's 30-minute session on Wow and How Data Visualization using Cityworks Analytics 4.0, which was just released. My name is Larry Soling, and I'm joined by John Hansen. We are both customer success managers here at Cityworks. We will be your moderators for today's session. We have the pleasure to introduce our presenters today, which is Brad Johnson, our product manager at Cityworks, along with Tanner Rod, Cityworks technical trainer. I'm going to hand it over to John now for a few housekeeping items before we start. John, take it away.
Thanks, Larry. So before we get started, I'd like to share a few tips. First, to drop a comment or question, please go to the red Live Now button. This will open the session. Scroll to the bottom, click on Questions. There, you may leave your question or comments for the presenters. We will address those questions as time permits. If you are having technical difficulties and you click the question mark at the bottom right-hand corner, this will give you a window with ideas on troubleshooting. You may leave this session at any time by clicking the three-button menu in the right upper corner. Once you click that, there is a prompt to leave the meeting. This will push you back into the conference lobby. Please do not close your browser. That will lead to issues getting back into the lobby later on. Please visit our ratings and reviews module in our navigation bar. There you can write a review and rate the session. We encourage feedback so we can make adjustments along the way. And finally, a quick plug for our sponsors and exhibitors. Please visit our partners in their virtual space. Feel free to start a live chat with our awesome sponsors and exhibitors. Thanks. Larry?
So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Brad to start the presentation.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. Good to be with you, Tanner. Good to have you with us and be able to show you a little bit about our Cityworks Analytics and ArcGIS Insights. First, we want to make sure to show the slide everybody has seen, the safe harbor statement. Make sure you know, don't make any financial decisions or anything based upon any of the future enhancements that we may be showing in today's presentation. With that, we're going to cover why should you think and consider Cityworks Analytics, a couple of the requirements for that, and then Tanner and I will be going through some demos and how you can implement these in, and then cover our Q&A at the end. So wanted to start out real first with just kind of some fun. And I've got a couple of quotes here that I want to throw up. You got to guess who my favorite literary character is that said this. It's a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. Insensibly, one begins to twist fact to suit theory instead of theory to suit fact. And isn't it true that until we actually get the facts, we really don't know what things are? And data, he cried impatiently, I can't make bricks without clay. I wish I could throw a 1-pound Hershey bar at somebody for getting that right, but Sherlock Holmes is that individual. So data is important. Data is one of our primary assets. We got all those assets out in the ground, above the ground, in our buildings and that, but how often do we really consider our data and how important it is to us? And that's what we want to talk about today. How do we collect data? Well, there's this whole engineering, and Denora showed this morning, of data engineering. That's the collection process, whether it's human or machine collected data. There's the cleaning up of data. We collect a lot of data, but we have to clean up what we get and verify that it's accurate so that when we actually do go to visualize it and show it, that we've got good, accurate data to visualize and to see. So Cityworks Analytics is a series of workbooks in ArcGIS Insights that we have created, templates using those workbooks to give to our clients who are licensed for it, to be able to look at their work orders and service requests, their inspection, storeroom, performance duration. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that one. Fleet, and man, we've made some great enhancements to the PLL workbooks, and they really are significant. And these templates, man, what you're going to see, we can share with you. and you would contact your client success manager like John and Larry and get the link to download these now. And Tanner's going to take us through how easy that is now to get those links and be able to upload them. I'm going to spend a few minutes going through some of these. It gets a little repetitive, so I'm only going to spend about 5 or so minutes going through what you see in these workbooks and templates that you can get. And then you can start creating all of your own stuff. That's the idea, is to get the creative juices flowing, and Tanner's going to show you how easy it is to create your own workbook and use the templates that we've got to get started, but then start to do your own stuff. And we've seen a lot of that through the conference. Denora has showed some, Billy showed some. Carl has showed how you can actually interact with a workbook and have a Python script built into it and have it actionable to create a work order right out of ArcGIS Insight. So a lot of capabilities with this. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start this and start going through. The first one that we're looking at here is our work order workbook. And as you can see, this allows me to view on a map, and this is one of the significant things with ArcGIS Insights over our old version in Excel, is we can see our work activity on a map. So here I can see where my work orders are taking place. I can point to them and click on it, and it'll actually tell me what those work orders are. I can use the index and select something off the index and see where the work orders are located. I can use different cards, and all of these cards can be changed. If you don't like chord or column charts, you can change these to donut charts and things. Interact with the filters that we provide. And as you can see now, we're just showing the last 2 years' data. Heat maps, concentration of where work orders are taking place. This is significant in being able to interact with your data instead of just letting it lay there and not do anything with it. I can see work orders by category, by supervisor. I can look at my equipment, labor, and material and see my cost for those, overall work order cost, and see year over year, month by month, even drill down on data and see that, like call information. Where am I taking the most calls from? The size of the bubble there on the chart. The months that they're coming in, the days that they're coming in, even hourly information on when our most calls are coming in. This is a great one. This is really great at looking at your preventative maintenance program. So on the left, I can see all my reactive work orders. And on the left, I can see my proactive or my preventative maintenance work orders. Cost associated with those work orders. Service requests, same as work orders. We've included labor and being able to drill down on your labor. And you can have a page for equipment and material. This is just some templates to get you started again and see this information. And everything is interactive on these. So along with work orders and service requests, we have our inspections. So I'm going to jump over to my inspections. And here again, I can see my inspections on a map, where they're at. Interact with this data. I can see condition scores on a map. Where are the higher condition scores, lower condition scores? Drill down on a specific asset and see the condition score over time on a specific asset. We've added labor and equipment to inspections now. So this is a new one that's new with 15.4 to be able to track labor and equipment on an inspection. Storeroom, I can see values of all of my storerooms, all of the functions, issuing, receiving, transferring, auditing. We've got pages for all of these to be able to track that. Do summations. One that I've always talked about being critical is suppliers. How much am I spending with suppliers? And velocity. How often am I touching something? How often do I use something? I've got pages in here that'll allow you to look at that specific information. Here's some of that PLL stuff and being able to see that. Total revenue, tracking how is revenue coming in, what sources, tasks. This is performance duration, and I'm actually going to show another video on this in just a minute, but performance duration allows me to look at time it takes to set up and complete a work order, versus how long it actually takes. And then we've got in here some KPIs on performance and being able to look and evaluate that. So here are those KPIs, looking at open work orders, closed work orders, how many work orders have been completed, how many cases, tasks in PLL, inspections and service requests, all are in here, and all are the things that we can manage. We've added some new workbooks with 4.0, and when you download these, you'll get an option of which ones you want to download. You can download all of them we're showing or part of them. But this is Fleet, and Larry and I have actually spent a lot of time working on Fleet with what we think should be in here and working with some of our clients and what should be in here. So I can see my Fleet work orders, where they're at, what type of work orders are being done, oil changes, emergency repairs, interacting with proactive and reactive work orders. Again, being able to see what is going on with my fleet and how that is being taken care of. I can drive into not just my work order or inspection information, but also my GIS data and attributes out of my GIS, like registration and warranty dates. I can have all of that data available here, drill down on it, and have that information quickly, readily available, and visually seen. So again, just some examples of some of the templates that we've got. There's a lot more, obviously, but I do want to show you that one new one that we've got, the performance duration one, and jump down to that here and show you this again, and how I can look at a work order, and I can see that the targeted duration was 3 days for this work order. I can look at the actual duration and see that it was 7. So this workbook has pages for work orders, inspections, service requests, and PLL cases and tasks. And then again, as I indicated, those KPIs we've got at the end here, and I can filter these and look at different information for all of those, and just some great KPIs that you can use out of the box, plug in your data, and be ready to go. So how do I plug into my data, Brad? Well, let's look at that. And I'm going to turn some time now over to Tanner to go ahead and take us through that.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. So for this first demo, let's import one of these Cityworks Analytics workbooks. So I'm here inside ArcGIS Insights, and I want to import a new file. So if Brad, you'll hit play. If not, I may be a little behind here. There we go. All right, so we're inside ArcGIS Insights. Let's go to our workbooks page and import a workbook. At the top right, there's an import button. All you have to do is click import, and you'll just simply navigate to that file that you downloaded from us at Cityworks. You see that's an Inspections Analytics. I'll click open. Now this workbook is going to come with some sample data, so I'll just take a second to load. So it shows you how these workbooks are intended to be used and what they look like. So there it is, the Inspection Analytics. I'll open that up, and like I said, this is all being downloaded. It's being written to a data store, so it takes just a few seconds, but you can see all the pages are there. So for the purposes of this demo, let's hop back into an Inspection Analytics that's loaded here. So if I pull that up, you'll see all the sample data inside this workbook, which is great. We love the sample data, but we want to import our own data into that. So how do I do that? Well, it's really quite simple. All you need to do is go to this analysis view at the top right, and this will show you what database table you will need from your Cityworks database. So as you can see in this dataset bubble, I see inspection. So I know that I need to come up and click add, and I'll navigate to databases and view my selected or my configured Cityworks database. So as you can see, we've got some example Cityworks data in here. All I need to do, once again, is search for inspection, because I saw in that model what was needed. So I'll type in inspection, select the proper table. Everything looks good. Let's add it in. So now it's really, really easy. You just click update, and you'll select the new inspection table that you brought in with your own data. So for the demo, once again, I won't hit update. It takes about 30 seconds. but there's lots to look at. So let's keep going here. So I can go back to the page view and all these will be updated with your data. Now you'll need to do this for each page. So if I click the analysis view, I can go in and look at exactly what Cityworks database tables all need. So one more example here, you open the analysis view, get some muscle memory going, and you'll see in this one, there's actually 3 database tables that I'll need to grab, some labor and equipment costs. And you can select all 3 of those at one time up there in the add to page area. So I think we've got that down. It really is that simple. You plug and go, you're ready to play. You always want to make sure that you hit save. Well, let's say now that you've updated your models, you want to share this information out. Well, there's quite a few ways you can do that. You can share these workbooks within your portal. So to do that, you would go to the share button here, and you can select who you want to share this with inside your portal. But you can also download your own Insights workbook files by hitting that export button. You can see you can package this up either by referencing the data or just copying the data. We'll go ahead and copy that data and it will download straight to your desktop ready to go. I do want to point out here really quick that you can also embed these workbooks inside like a Respond dashboard or an Office. So this all lives within one environment, your Cityworks stuff. So, all right, for my next demo, if you'll go to the next one here, Brad, let's create our own dashboard. It's really quite easy. So I'm here, it looks like this is still the first demo. If you'll go to the next one there. Here we are. So we're in a blank ArcGIS workbook and we want to bring in some Cityworks data. So I'm going to go to that add to page again, and I'm going to grab my Cityworks database. So let's say this time I want to look at some work orders. So I can type in the search bar here, work orders. And this will allow me to select that work order. Once again, similar process, just without the model. So we'll see work order, it's good to go. I'll click add. Now the first thing I want to do is enable the location. So there's some data set options here. I'll click enable location. And ArcGIS Insights will see that I have an X and Y coordinate in my data. All I need to do is reference the spatial reference, which I happen to know here. So I'll type that in and click run. Now this may take a little bit of time just depending on the size of your database table. This one happens to be about 37,000 records or so, so that's fairly good sized. It'll just take a moment, but I want to point out while this is loading that ArcGIS Insights, one of its greatest strengths is bringing together your spatial and your tabular data. And as you'll see, I'll actually start bringing in Cityworks information from different areas as well. So I'll have Cityworks EURL, actually with some asset calculations from Operational Insights and a few other areas. So that's one of the reasons why we moved to ArcGIS Insights, is bringing all that data together, making it really quick and simple and ready to go. And it's really up to you to make it as fun as you want. So this should finish in just a moment there. There it is. All right, so we have our work order. Now we can click and drag, drop it into our map, and we're good to go. So you'll see it will default to some specific symbology. You may want to change that if you're not interested in, how it's being displayed. If I bring that in, I can change a few things here. I can change the unique symbols. I can change how it's being displayed, count a work order, as you can see here. You can create a heat map. There's lots and lots you can do. All right, so let's go ahead and name this one really quick, work order map. But so far, we've just been working with the table as a whole. You can actually drill down quite a bit deeper and just bring in specific fields. So for example, I can bring in a status. As you can see, there's lots of fields here. You may want to just use the search field and click status. Bring that in. Perfect. So this is going to give you a table with the count of work orders. You could use this as a filter if you wanted to, because all these cards are indeed tied together, which is a really nice feature here in ArcGIS Insights. So I could select the open. That'll highlight that on the map. I can bring in I could look at my planned, my assigned, and so on. So it's a really neat process. Now let's add another one here. Let's add priority. And this is a good example. When I bring in this priority, you're going to see when I hover over the chart there, there's a list of different visualizations. ArcGIS Insights is awesome in helping you kind of walk through the data science process, and it holds your hand. It kind of points you in the right direction based off your data type. So in this example, we have the priority. It's some categorical data, helps me choose the proper visualization. So I'm going to name this really quick. And then I do want to point out here exactly how that works. So if you come over, looks frozen, there we go. So if you come over, you can look at the symbol next to the data field. And that'll tell you the type of data. And this can be changed if there's some kind of error. If it's reading a number instead of an ID, you can change that. And you can see it filters there really nicely just based off that data type. So let's bring in some more data here. This is going to be from Operational Insights, but it's inside my portal for ArcGIS, and I can quickly grab this. It's an EURL that I loaded. So this is an asset calculation result. So it's water mains with high business risk exposure. So this is coming straight from Operational Insights, EURL into portal, right into ArcGIS Insights. So as you can see, it has the Cityworks symbology. Everything looks really cool, and it's ready to go. So we'll just name this water mains with high BRE. Awesome. And there it is. So it's really up to you at this point to make these as fun, as creative as you want. Once you get a handle on the different Cityworks Analytics models, you can create your own. So I'll hand it back to our hosts that will end us on our presentation.
Hey, Tanner, something I forgot to mention earlier is ArcGIS Insights and Cityworks Analytics 4.0. You can run either in your portal or you can run on ArcGIS Insights desktop.
That's correct.
Desktop does have some limitations on sharing capabilities, but you can, if you don't have portal set up, you can download, if you're licensed for ArcGIS Insights through Esri, you can download desktop. And same process, same import function, everything is the same, and make that database connection. And also in here, just want to point out where Tanner hit the plus, you make your database connection. And once you've got your databases already in here, you can actually go in and make calculations. You actually open the table and make many of your calculations. And that's how we did like targeted duration and actual duration, is we actually created some calculations in there similar to Excel, and make to pull those calculations in. So there's a lot of capability. As Tanner said, there's a lot of capability. You have a lot of fun with this and what you're showing, and you really can wow bosses and clients. A lot of our clients actually have insights now facing the public on their website, using their data to be able to show stuff. So Larry, back to you, or John, for questions.
Yeah, great job, gentlemen. Thanks a lot. I'm glad you brought up that point about being able to run it on desktop, because one of our questions actually was whether this requires portal. And Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but older versions of analytics, such as 3.0, you had to have portal, right? Or
Yeah, that's correct. So with 3.0, it was on the 3.x version of ArcGIS Insights, and you actually have to get a Python script from us to be able to pull the models over. And it works not as clean as just being able to import a workbook like this is. But yes, with ArcGIS Insights 10. Or with ArcGIS 10.7 and 20.2 for ArcGIS Insights, we can just share that link for you, or any version newer, and you're up and running. But you did have to have portal for the old version.
Gotcha. Excellent. Thank you. Larry, do you want me to keep running, or do you want to take it?
I'll take the next one. So we have Richard from the city of Noblesville. How would we be able to get these workbooks to use with our data? So Richard, well, first thing you have to be is licensed for Cityworks Analytics. So work your CSM if you don't know if you're licensed for Cityworks Analytics. If you are, then you can go ahead and work with your CSM to get some instructions on how to download the information. And you can always work with your CSM and Brad Johnson to help with that. I believe we have a white paper on that. So once you're licensed for it, you have access to all the templates that Brad has shown you in our latest release of 4.0. And I've got a second question that kind of ties into that really well is Leslie from the City of Oakland Public Works asked, when did Analytics 4.0 come out? So Brad, you put a lot of work into this. When did 4.0 come out?
Like 2 weeks ago. So it literally just came out 2 weeks ago. So.
Excellent.
I do want to point out really quick that there also will be Cityworks Analytics 4.0 training coming soon as well.
Oh, good, Tanner.
Okay, excellent. We have another question, and it reads, we recently began using Power BI for many visualizations. Are there currently, or is there plans for having templates for Power BI?
We do not have templates for Power BI. Power BI is a great product. We actually looked at that, the interim in between Excel, but they didn't do maps, and Esri did. So we went with the Esri product, and that's where we've got our a BI tool is with Esri's ArcGIS Insights. So I pretty much can say we won't be creating templates for Power BI.
Understood.
But good tool.
We've got another question from Leslie at the City of Oakland. I am new to Cityworks. Are these updates free? So as a CSM, I can answer that. So yes, if you're licensed for Cityworks, the way Cityworks is licensed to our customer, if you're licensed for Cityworks, you pay on an annual basis, and that's your annual renewal. And if you're licensed for that product, you get all the latest versions of that product moving forward as you continue to do your annual renewal. So that's how you would get these updates.
If anybody wants a demo of this or to see this, yeah, just get, I mean, if I go back to the end here, there's email addresses. You can go through your CSM and set up a demonstration of this. If you want to see this a little bit more in depth or get more information, or contact me directly, and I'll copy in your CSM and we'll set something up.
Awesome, thanks. Here's another question that we have. Can you point to SQL Server on your local network and not expose it to the internet?
That's a great question. I think Esri is knowing how it makes the database connection. It asks for a server. It doesn't ask for like a local drive. It asks for your server and the database.
So Brad, the answer to that, I guess, would be yes. So they can actually connect to a local database within their network, and then they can also share these models out within their organization and not expose them to the public, right? So they have
Correct.
complete control on how they expose or distribute within the organization, correct?
Correct. And there are other than the SQL connection, there are other ways to get your data into Cityworks. So I mean, if you've got Excel or CSV export files, those are all file types that you can pull in as well.
Okay, we're down to about the last minute here. So again, thank you for attending this session. We appreciate all the questions. Thank you to both of our presenters, Brad and Tanner, for presenting today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference today. We look forward to hearing your feedback. And don't forget about the new attendee meetups at 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. Please look at those. They're in your side panel, and see if any of those topics are of interest to you. We look forward to seeing you there. And thanks again for joining and being part of Cityworks Converge. We'll see you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.